With the OCA the weekend before Thanksgiving and our local fish club auction the weekend before that, there's a ton of new fish here in the fish tank barn. So let's jump into the barn and look at all the new fish. So let's kick this off with the Xenotilapia Bathyphilus Teugelsi. This is a sand sifting cichlid from Lake Tanganyika, which I picked up from the auction at the OCA. I think this fish is a real gem with its large black eyes and beautiful neon sheens. Like many Lake Tanganyikan cichlids, this fish is a maternal mouth brooder and is definitely a fish that I'm looking forward to spawning. I currently have these guys living in a 55-gallon setup with a large group of Cyprichormis Leptosoma blue flash. So let's take a look at another fish from the OCA, the Nanochromis Teugelsi, which I purchased out of one of the rooms that was doing the room sales. This is a rare Nanochromis species that hails from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it's pretty hard to find in the hobby. So far I've found that this fish is kind of reclusive, liking to hang out in kind of the darker parts of the tank. I do need to do some work with this fish in terms of adding some RO water, since I do like their water a little bit softer than the typical fish here in the fish tank barn. I currently have these fish in a 20-gallon long with a few leftover Endler fry from some previous fish that were inhabiting this tank. I also have another fun project here in the fish tank barn, which are these Betta Channoides. I do have these fish right now living in a 2.5-gallon tank, but these fish will soon be having an upgrade. I purchased these fish from a guy who was selling a bunch of wild bettas out of his room at the OCA. He really did have a lot of amazing fish in that room, and I'm actually surprised that I didn't buy more. Hopefully he'll be back again next year, and I'll have some more experience with wild bettas, and we'll see how this goes. I currently have this tank stocked with half tank water and half RO water. This is one of the few tanks in the fish barn that will not be on the auto water change system. At our local auction this year, I really fell in love with quite a few of the Livebearers, including these melanistic Gambusia Holbrooki. These hardy little Livebearers came with quite a bit of a story from their previous owners, with the original strain being caught in Fort Myers, Florida. The black melanistic traits are carried solely by the males and will only appear in the male fish. This melanistic trait only appears in about 2 to 5% of the population, and it's extremely important not to add any normal colored males into the population, since they won't genetically yield any melanistic fish. I'm really looking forward to spawning these hardy little Livebearers here in this 20-gallon high aquarium. Keeping with the Livebearer train, I also found these Sulphurophilia, or knife Livebearers, at the auction as well. This unique little Livebearer hails from Costa Rica, Nicaragua, and Panama, where it's found in a wide variety of environments. This fish is a pusillid, which is in the same family as guppies, but can be quite a bit more aggressive. From my research and initial experience, I've found these fish to be quite hardy as I moved them from a couple of different tank setups, getting them into their new home. I currently have them in this 20-gallon high and looking forward to getting this group breeding. While I didn't find these at the auction, I did pick up this group of black Moscow guppies at the OCA as well. These are some of my favorite guppies in the aquarium trade, even though I've not had a whole lot of luck with them. I have them living here in this 29-gallon tank, along with my small group of Xiphophorous birchmani. I'm hoping these guppies will act as dither fish to get the birchmani to come out more and be a little bit less shy. We'll see how that works out in the long run, but I am pretty excited to have some black Moscow guppies back here in the fish barn. Also at the OCA, I was able to add to the stable of koi swordtails that I have here in the fish barn. I was able to pick up 3 more fish at one of the room sales. I'm really impressed with this extremely large female and hope she drops tons of fry fairly soon, which looks pretty likely to be the case. These fish are sharing a 29-gallon tank with a group of Limia Sulphurophilia that I picked up at the local auction. I've had this species before, but unfortunately I somehow ended up with 5 males. So I'm really happy to have this mixed group and really looking forward to getting some fry. There is a very high likelihood that I'll be moving the Limia Sulphurophilia out to a different tank here in the near future. Here's another tank that has another group of new fish. This 37-gallon cube is home both to a group of Cyprichormis, Leptosoma Utinita that I picked up from the auction. I've gone kind of Cyprichormis crazy lately, and I'm excited to have these fish here in the fish tank barn. I also have another group of Xiphophorous Variatus from Rio Coacuilco. I already have a group of Xiphophorous Variatus from Rio Coacuilco, but I decided to get this specific group as well because these are a specific collection that came from Texas A&M University. So I'm excited to see this group develop and see what the males have. According to the literature that came with the bag, the males can either have like a red or a yellow sheen to them, so I'm pretty excited to see how these fish develop. I was also able to pick up another group of Xiphophorous Maculatus from the Rio Grijalva, which I'm also excited to see grow out and see what colors they come up with. This was a fish I also picked up at the auction, and I currently have them living with some White Cloud Mountain minnows in this 20-gallon high tank. So as you can see, we did get quite a few new fish here in the fish tank barn, all of which I'm really excited about and really excited to see how this group grows up. I really do need to place some musical fish here in the near future, so there'll definitely be some work involved in getting all these fish settled and getting them into their final new homes. But I'm really excited to see this group grow out and see what comes up in the future with spawning, breeding, and getting these fish out to some of my other fish keeping friends. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, stay fishy, and I'll catch you on the next video.